Hello, my friends and gems. So today I want to share with you this double-blind placebo study that talks about Tri-State athletes. There were actually 25 of them from the football team that were selected for this particular study. This is the study, and so I'm going to be reading this information that I've already highlighted for you and reviewing it so that you can ascribe a meaning to what it is that you're understanding from this research. And it's as a result of using the stem cell activation patches, which we are no longer allowed to call them stem cell activation patches because the FDA said, no, we don't want you doing that anymore, even though your patents show that you do that. You can call them anything else but that, you can call them cell activation patches, pluripotent cell activation patches. So we're going to call them that from this point moving forward. But I'm writing a book called The Fantastic Five, because there's 11 patches total, and I've grouped 5 of them, which I affectionately coined the term the Fantastic Five, alluding to the superheroes, because these are the superheroes of the body that take care of the primary systems of your body. And whether you're an Olympic athlete, you're someone who maybe just wants to reverse age and be as healthy as possible, or maybe someone who is battling some sort of symptoms or series of symptoms, pains, chronic or acute pain. Maybe you have a diagnosis, maybe you have a mystery illness, maybe they're not sure if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 or more things going on with you. Or maybe you just don't feel good. The bottom line is, I'm going to share this information with you. When this book is ready to be published, I will let you know. I'm still accumulating some information and in the midst of writing it, and I will be releasing it actually very, very soon. I hope to do that before 2025, and we are here in the middle of October. It was October 10th yesterday. It was 10/10 yesterday, so perhaps I will get to do this sooner rather than later. It's almost done, but it takes a while to put a book together, as you can only imagine. Okay, so let's get started, and I wish that I could share my screen with you, but in lieu of that, I will just be reading this information to you. This is the double-blind placebo-controlled study of the LifeWave technology as it relates to improvement of strength endurance. I'm going to show a picture, and I'll do a screenshot of this so that it is posted in this video before we are done here, or actually once I post this up to YouTube. So in the abstract, it says here that a standardized test was selected to measure net gains in strength endurance. And in this case, the exercise was performed by all athletes, and the test was a 225-pound flat bench press. The baseline data for the test was collected on Thursday, June 26, 2003. The comparative data was collected on the following Wednesday, July 2nd, 2003. Athletes were divided into 3 groups. There was the control group, the placebo, and then the test group. The control group was tested as is on both of these testing days. The placebo was given a set of patches filled with water. This group was unaware as to whether or not the patches were real or water-filled. The test group was given a set of patches with the LifeWave technology in it. And again, this group was unaware as to the contents of the patches. And it will be emphasized that the athletes using these LifeWave technology used the product only once. And the test was performed within 10 minutes of first applying the patches to the athletes. Okay, so moving on, the thing to know is that to determine or to obtain the desirable effect of improving cell metabolism passively, specifically increasing the rate of fatty acid beta oxidation by allowing fatty acids to transport across the mitochondrial membrane. Mitochondrial membrane, that's a tiny little organelle that's inside each one of your cells, and that little organelle, which is a tiny organ inside the cell, it has a membrane just like your cell does. And so it's talking about those fatty acids transporting across that membrane so that it affects the inside of your mitochondria. So the manufacturer constructed a device, which are the patches, and that device was consisting of orthomolecular organic structures designed to passively interact with the human magnetic field for the purpose of creating a system of frequency modulation, which is much in the same way that radio waves are modulated to communicate with audio information. Find that to be very fascinating information. So the method that was in fact used was a double-blind randomized placebo-controlled study with a total of 25 athletes ages 18 to 22. They volunteered to participate for this test study. They were from the football team. Okay, and so let's move on to what the actual results were. And when you see a copy of the study, you're going to see, let me see if I can flip over to my paper copy because I can't do a screen share when I use QuickTime. I can only do that on Zoom, but our internet has been kind of intermittent, so that's why I couldn't do this on Zoom. And so for me to share this with you, you can see a significant increase here. You could see the control, the placebo, and then there was almost a 50% increase in strength and endurance with those who actually wore the patches in comparison to those who had the placebo effect and those who didn't wear anything at all. So let me move on to share with you what the actual numbers are. And it says here in the discussion, given the data of the average group performance, improvement of the placebo group, so the placebo group experienced a 13.8% improvement in strength and endurance as compared to 8.9% to the control group. This would be a reasonable spread in terms of attainable improvements from the baseline day to the comparative day. Now, with respect to the test group, there was indeed a legitimate effect of this orthomolecular technology on athletic performance. The athletes that wore the patch product experienced an average improvement of 43.2%, which in the graph here you can clearly see this is a significant, a very marked improvement. They didn't wear anything, the placebo, you can't make this up. 43, almost 50% improvement in strength endurance performance. The spread in average performance numbers between the three groups is significant and would tend to indicate that this orthomolecular technology, the LifeWave technology, played an important role in improving strength endurance in the test group. So it says here it's a legitimate effect on athletic stamina is evidenced in the chart on page 4, which is what I just showed you. And in all three groups, we see that the majority of the athletes improved in performance. However, the control group and placebo group showed nearly identical percentages of athletes that improved, with 70% of the control group and 62.5% of the placebo. So the test group had the highest percentage of members. So 24 out of 25, that's 87.5%, 85.7% of the 25 individual athletes. 24 out of 25. Wouldn't you like to be in that group of 25? Pretty high probability that you would get this almost 50% improvement in strength and endurance. So it's indicating here that the LifeWave technology was having a beneficial effect on athletic performance. It says here this improvement is dramatic in that the individuals tested had only used this orthomolecular technology for just 10 minutes and then they were tested. Incredible. Can you imagine for those who've worn the patches for 30, 60, 90 days, those who have worn them for 6, 9, 12 months or more? Because there is a compounding effect, as you're very well aware. So it says here that based on the data collected, this is the conclusion. Based on the data collected and the results obtained, it was demonstrated that the LifeWave orthomolecular technology is a method for the improvement of athletic performance. With 25 college athletes from Troy State University football team volunteering to participate in this study. And there you have it, my friends and gems. That's the bottom line. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about how you can get started on this technology, just reach out to me, put a comment below. There's a link in there where you can connect to me through Telegram. You can also book a Zoom call with me, 15 to 30 minutes long, where we can go over whatever your questions are and get you started on the patches. To see all 90 of our scientific studies, you can go to startx39now.com. There's nothing to buy there. Just startx39now.com, and you can see all 90 scientific studies, and you can read all of them to your heart's content, or share them with your care provider, whoever your doctor or physician might be. All right. Ciao for now, my friends and gems.